What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. Today we are going to be looking at 5 players that Manchester City could sign in the upcoming January 2022 transfer window. But before I do crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, you want to help to support my channel, then do subscribe, press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. I am going to be doing daily Manchester City transfer updates throughout all of the winter transfer window for Manchester City for you guys to enjoy. So if you haven't already, do subscribe on that push towards 21k subscribers, less than 200 subs away, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget my social media links, they're in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. My email also in the description below too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Leave a thumbs up as well if you do enjoy this video. Once more, aiming for 300 likes, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. We did smash the like goal on the last video, so thank you everyone for that. That is fantastic. Also, don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments below of what you made of these transfers as well. And also, lastly, this video, it's sponsored and I'm calling on all men. This video is brought to you by Manscape.com, the premium global brand for men's grooming and hygiene products. Manscape provide the best tools, equipment and liquids for every body part. They have been kind enough to send me the new Lawnmower 4.0. The Lawnmower 4.0 is a cordless trimmer with a wireless charging system, providing 90 minutes on one full charge on the lithium-ion battery. The trimmer has LED lights on the front to show battery life, and also on the trimmer for a more precise shave. Ceramic blades with skin-safe technology are provided to help reduce nicks and cuts. 4 trimmer guard options are also available to customize your hair length. The Lawnmower 4.0 is waterproof, allowing for easy cleanup. A new travel lock feature is built in to prevent vibrations whilst on the go. So come and join me and 2 million other men worldwide who trust Manscaped when it comes to keeping yourself clean and tidy. Use code JSGC20 for 20% off and free worldwide shipping. Thank you very much to Manscaped for sponsoring this video. My promo code's only going to be rolling for a few more days, and so if you want 20% off at Manscaped, you want to help to support the future content created here on my channel as well, then go and purchase something over at manscaped.com. Go and use my code JSGC20 for 20% off and free worldwide shipping. I want to say a big thank you to Manscaped for sponsoring this video once more. Anyway, let's crack on with this video. So we're going to look at 5 players that City could sign this winter, and then I'm going to mark it on realism and how realistic it is that Manchester City will sign these players, and then I'll also assess the situation again for the summer as well. You'll see where I'm going with this as I crack on with this video. So the first player I want to speak about is Dusan Vlahovic, who plays for Fiorentina. Now, he's a Serbian, soon-to-be 22-year-old striker. Fiorentina apparently are willing to sell for around 70 to 80 million euros, and that could be what's needed to get this deal done. We already know that Vlahovic doesn't want to sign a new contract at Fiorentina. Fiorentina want to cash in, and it'd be ideal for them to cash in more than likely this winter rather than next summer. And I say that because he's got 18 months left on his contract as of this winter, whereas next summer it'll be 12 months and his value will come down, and that 70 to 80 million euros asking price will come down once more the longer that contract runs. And so now is a good time for Fiorentina to sell. Now, I do sense that it would take Manchester City to sign Vlahovic to end all their interest in all our other attacking options that we're looking for and settle that we want Dusan Vlahovic as our long-term striker, which could happen. That means ending our interest in the pursuit of Erling, Harland and Harry Kane, because I don't see Manchester City in the space of 2 windows signing 2 attackers. I just don't think that will happen. And so, with interest being pretty high in Vlahovic, we know that Arsenal are interested in signing him. I've previously heard that Juventus are interested. I know there's some interest from Spain as well. City's name's also been chucked out there. That could just be to get the price up for Fiorentina or for the player and his agent. We already know his agent's looking for more money from Arsenal as well. He does remain an option, and I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. To me, Dusan Vlahovic is a really good option B for Manchester City, but if he isn't snapped up this winter by City, another club could be willing to pay that price and snap him up this winter instead, to which case he'd no longer be an option, and then City are really limited when it comes to signing strikers, and so City need to be making a decision, because decision time is coming. Now, in terms of realism, City could, like I said, end their pursuit in other strikers. I'd say this is a 6 out of 10 that City make a move this winter, and I would say it's probably the most realistic option for City to sign anybody this winter as well. Now, as we move into the summer, if no one snaps him up this winter, then like I said, he does still remain an option for Manchester City, and so to me, with 12 months left on his contract in the summer and his value coming down a little bit more, 7 out of 10 for realism, but like I said, I've just got a feeling that City probably are looking elsewhere for other players instead, particularly when it comes to that long-term Sergio Aguero replacement. Now, speaking of Aguero's replacement, brings me on nicely to player number 2 that City could target this winter, and that is Erling brought Harland, the 21-year-old striker from Borussia Dortmund. Needs no introduction by me. He's an incredible player. We already know this. He does have a release clause active in the summer, 70 million euros. We know the big stepping stone for Manchester City here is the fees that are coming from elsewhere. That includes wages, representative fees, and also his agent fees as well. These are the big sticking blocks that Manchester City face. Now, I have also heard on the grapevine that there is concerns over some injuries as well. Not too sure on how true that is. Just something I've heard, so I'm just chucking that one out there, just so if it does come to a point where City say no and it's down to injuries, then it's not a big surprise to anybody. But in terms of a move this winter, I do doubt that Dortmund would sell one of, if not the biggest prized asset that they've got at their club, and selling him in the winter window as well is a big risk to take. Now, with that release clause coming active in the summer, should an offer higher than 70 million euros come in this winter, surely that might just tempt Dortmund to sell, because they're maximising their profits. They're making more money than what they're set to make in the summer. I just think Erling Haaland is too big of a player for them to lose in the middle of the season. They'll want to keep him till the end of the season. Dortmund's best opportunities of having a successful season comes with Harland in that team, and for the sake of 10, 20, maybe even 30 million euros. You're speaking the opportunity here of progress in the Champions League. We're talking having a very successful season in the Bundesliga and having a successful domestic season for them as well. And I think Erling Haaland staying outweighs them making a few extra million euros. Maybe a massive offer might just tempt them, but to me, I just don't think Haaland will leave this winter. To me, a 2 out of 10 chance that he leaves Borussia Dortmund to join Manchester City. To me, it's a 2 out of 10 that he leaves Dortmund at all this winter. I'd be very surprised. However, for the summer, I have marked it as a 7 out of 10 for the summer, because we know Harland is the man that Manchester City more than likely will be chasing when it comes to City's business in the summer, with his release clause there as well. Like I said, it's all the other fees and everything on top of it that makes it quite complicated, but definitely something that I'm expecting to heat up a lot during the winter and keep an eye on. And do keep an eye that once the winter transfer window closes, deals being suggested and done, and having pre-agreements in place. And so, yeah, we saw that with Upamecano when he joined Bayern Munich last season. He joined, the deal was agreed in February for him to join in the summer. Not too sure on what the technicalities are when it comes to that release clause, but I imagine a lot of clubs will be willing to meet that release clause, so we'll see. Now, player number 3, Frenkie de Jong. Let's speak about him. 24-year-old central midfielder for Barcelona. Quite an odd link, this one, but he's been linked with Manchester City at this moment in time, and this is because Barcelona, they want to sign Raheem Sterling, and apparently are contemplating a straight swap, apparently, with Frenkie de Jong joining Manchester City and Raheem Sterling joining Barcelona. Don't really know too much more about this. Like I said, I don't know if there's any other fees or anything. I've just heard straight swap. I don't know whether City be looking for some money as well as Frenkie de Jong for Raheem Sterling, or vice versa. Barcelona will be looking for some money as well as Raheem Sterling. I'm not too sure what both clubs are valuing each player at, so we'll see what happens with that. But what I found most interesting about this is Pep is very coy on Sterling's future. We know that Sterling's considering his future at Manchester City. He won't sign a new deal right now. Barcelona have been interested in the summer, and Barcelona continue to be interested now. So a swap deal for Sterling to leave City and bring in one of the other Barcelona players to City from a financial point of view, probably for both clubs as well, does make sense. City get rid of a player that, albeit might not want to be here, and we end up bringing in a player that helps ease our congestion for a position in our squad. Now, Ousmane Dembele has previously been linked with a swap move to Manchester City. So has Martin Braithwaite. Anyway, a 4 out of 10 for realism for January, this one. And I've put down a 6. I think I'm being a bit generous, a 6 out of 10 for the summer. But just hear me out. Fernandinho, more than likely he leaves Manchester City with his contract up this summer, and so City could well be looking for a central defensive midfielder. Frenkie de Jong isn't really a central defensive midfielder, but City might be looking to try and exploit that. We've seen Gundogan play there before. We may sense that de Jong can do a job should Rodri pick up any injuries. But to me, this would make a little bit more sense if City are looking long-term towards the wings. Now, if Sterling leaves, City might think, do we need to replace him or not? Well, we've got Jack Grealish and also Phil Foden that cover that left-hand side fantastically well. So Raheem Sterling, where does he slot in? Riyad Mahrez, he's recently said that he wants to stay at Manchester City, occupying the right-hand side along with Gabriel Jesus. We've seen Bernardo Silva and Kevin De Bruyne head over to the right-hand side as well. So Sterling might be assessing his options that should a striker be brought in, his playing time could be limited, and so bringing in a central midfielder like Dijon allows us to move another central midfielder towards the wings instead, which is something we're seeing quite common under Pep Guardiola. So this move actually, whilst on paper doesn't really make sense, actually does make total sense. Now, the only other note I have for this is Frenkie de Jong would be a good signing for City should Bernardo Silva leave. However, if it's a straight option between do we bring in Frenkie de Jong but Bernardo Silva leaves, then I'd rather that not happen. I'd rather keep hold of Bernardo Silva. To me, I'd rather have Bernardo Silva more than any other central midfielder in the world right now. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on Frenkie de Jong. Now, player number 4, Alexandre Lacazette. A really odd one, this one. Does stink of Manchester City being a bit cheap as well. 30-year-old French forward for Arsenal. City have been linked. Atletico Madrid are linked. Newcastle are linked. Inter Milan are linked. So are Sevilla as well. So plenty of interest. There's interest because he is out of contract in the summer. Arsenal, they want to cash in January. They know that teams outside of England can speak with Lacazette to get him on a pre-contract agreement for free. So they'd rather cash in and get some money for him, and it also allows them to fund for a move for another striker for them as well. Now, if we're looking long-term at Sergio Aguero's replacement, then to me, Lacazette isn't the type of player that we should be looking at. And like I said, it does stink of City being cheap, and I have had a look at who Arsenal have been linked with. They are being linked with Dusan Vlahovic. They're also being linked with Isaac as well, the Swedish striker too. To me, two better strikers than what Lacazette is right now, and I'd rather look long-term than short-term and being cheap. I don't see the point in us being cheap here. We know we need a long-term striker, spend the money and bring somebody world-class in, and let's complete that last piece of the jigsaw that we are looking for. To me, in terms of realism, 2 out of 10 for January, and for the summer, a 1 out of 10. I just don't see Lacazette being in a Manchester City shirt. I'm sure there'll be others that disagree, so do let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And lastly, the 5th player that City could look to target in the winter is Declan Rice, soon to be the 23-year-old central defensive midfielder for West Ham. Like I said, Fernandinho, he could well be leaving Manchester City when his contract is up. I'm not expecting his contract to be renewed, which means we will be looking for a holding midfielder to challenge Rodri for his place in the team. Now, Declan Rice, decent player, helps boost our homegrown quota, looks solid for West Ham. West Ham are having a good season as well, and to be fair, Rice is having an excellent season for West Ham. He's a very similar player to Rodri, got a similar style to him as well, and if we brought Declan Rice in, I'd be very happy with bringing Rice in. However, I don't want us to break the bank for him. If it comes a choice between spending big for a striker and spending small for a central defensive midfielder, I'd rather do that than being cheap with a striker to spend big to bring a central defensive midfielder in, if you get where I'm coming from with that one. To me, like I said, he's very similar to Rodri, and I'd rather look for a player that might offer something that Rodri doesn't. Perhaps a player that's going to play box to box. Perhaps we're going to look for a player that can sit a bit deeper, hold the positions. Fernandinho does that a lot, sits deeper, slots in at centre back, can cover right back, can cover left back as well when the wing backs decide to push forward. Maybe looking for something like that would be something I'd rather look towards. So I'm looking at players like Denis Zakaria that can really do that rather than Declan Rice, and quite frankly, Declan Rice is probably going to cost maybe 2, maybe even 3 times the value of what Zakaria would. And like I said, I won't break the bank to bring in a player that's quite frankly going to be playing a squad rotated option to Rodri, because Rodri's been outstanding, and that central defensive midfield position now is Rodri's, and so anyone that comes in probably will have to settle for sitting on the bench. So I wouldn't spend big for a bench player, is the point that I am trying to make. And like I said, we probably are looking at like £70+ million as an England international for a team that's doing very well. I'm expecting West Ham to more than likely be a European team, maybe not Champions League, but a European team. And so, yeah, it's going to cost a lot of money. And whilst I like Rice as a player, to me, yeah, I'd rather have something a little bit different, but that's just my thoughts. In terms of January, West Ham won't sell. 1 out of 10. They're doing well. Don't see any reason for them to cash in this winter. For the summer, they may well do. 5 out of 10 for realism in the summer. He's definitely a player City will look at if Fernandinho does decide to leave. However, this to me, English, very expensive, stinks of Manchester United rather than Manchester City. But they're my thoughts. So there's 5 players that City could look to target this winter. Do let me know some of the players that you'd like Manchester City to sign this winter. What's your ideal window? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget, if you did enjoy this video, leave a thumbs up so I know that you did enjoy this video. Aiming for 300 likes, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Don't forget also social media links, they're in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. My email also in the description below too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business enquiries. Also, don't forget to let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. Like I said, daily Manchester City transfer updates are coming from January 1st throughout the whole of January for you guys to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester City transfer news this winter, so do subscribe if you haven't already. And lastly, do go and check out today's video sponsor, which is sponsored by Manscaped. Manscaped have given me a promo code for 20% off, so go and use code JSGC20 at checkout to get 20% off and free worldwide shipping. Thank you very much to Manscaped for sponsoring this video. And like I said, manscaped.com, they're only running this promo code for a few more days only, so if you haven't already, go and make use of my code. That would be much appreciated and does help to support the future content created here on my channel. And I'll see you all again very soon. We've got plenty more transfer videos coming up during the international break as we do head towards the winter window for you guys to look forward to, so I'll see you then for that. So I've been JSGC, thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.